So SmackDown happened. So apparently, ladies and gentlemen, John Cena is again a babyface. Um, okay. I don't know. Again, for all we know, it could be a swerve. This could be all. It's all part of a plan. That to make us. It could be three scenarios. One, Cena's actually turned into a babyface, and WWE's not gonna even keep it a secret anymore. Cause what's the fucking point? Two, Cena might just be pulling a ruse, and yeah, it just probably just a ruse and just having win. But again, two scenarios with now John Cena possibly being a babyface. This will lead to Cody Rhodes probably turning heel, or it could be something where sure, it'll be kind of very basic for no reason. John Cena and Cody Rhodes are gonna have a babyface versus babyface street fight match, which is not really to me why. There's gotta be somebody who's taking the heat, right, or giving the heat. So that's the problem. You clearly need somebody to have the heat, unless this leads to something with The Rock coming out, and maybe somebody else gets involved in the match and leads, because of his final power or final boss powers or something. I don't know. Maybe someone in alliance with The Rock, or even The Rock himself. I don't know. But most likely, I don't know. It's definitely something intriguing. I will give credit. It's a little intriguing to see what's gonna happen. At least they got you hooked with that. It's just the problem is with John Cena, all of a sudden turning to a babyface out of nowhere. I just think it's welcoming. Don't get me wrong. It's a good welcome, because let's be honest here, the heel turn was not that great. Okay, this whole heel run with John Cena has honestly failed. Not the fault of Cena, but the fault of the booking, because there were clearly no direction with John Cena becoming a heel. And they only did it, again, with John Cena said in this freaking promo, this was just only for good television. John Cena even said on his fucking, which kind of breaks kayfabe in the bad sense, breaking kayfabe of what they mentioned on the show, which is that's not something you should be doing. But unfortunately, WWE, they're trying to promote their stupid Unreal show. It's kind of why are you breaking kayfabe? It's so fucking stupid. I don't know. At least freaking try to make some reason. Maybe, I don't know, Cena realized that, The Rock was never going to be there. And, he was fooled by The Rock. Maybe he could have said that. Why didn't Cena maybe had some little bit of, kayfabeness? Hey, he was fooled by The Rock that promised to be given everything, and he was told, hey, the fans really didn't freaking like you, you'll see, you'll turn heel, whatever, and you'll get everything, simple shit, and how maybe Cody Rhodes, he doesn't really like you. He, after all, tried to freaking take you down while being in AEW. You wanted to take down WWE, and you really want to be buddies with him. He could have put that in his head. How John Cena, we need you to protect the WWE. You're doing it to protect the WWE. And then Cena came to sense since he's not protecting the WWE. Why don't we have that as kayfabe? But again, that whatever. It's just funny how they kind of exposed and mentioned how this whole Rock thing was literally done. This whole selling your soul was literally done just because of, try and make good television and get ratings, get TV pops, people to buy the tickets, because they were not even selling tickets for the freaking show in Toronto. So whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, so SmackDown happened. Unfortunately, SmackDown was not that great of a show. For a go-home show for SmackDown, for SummerSlam, the first 2 nights SummerSlam, it definitely did not live to the hype at all, and definitely did not get you really intrigued. It was really just a cruise ship. It just sucked. Okay, so they opened the show. The show was 30-minute commercial free for the opening of the show, right? It just sucked that there's nothing to lead to the end of the show. They just literally blew their wad to just have Cena and Cody open the show, and that's it. They didn't have them do anything in the ending show. You wouldn't even think, what? Can we actually see something to lead to? Is Cena really going to be a freaking babyface? Something with Cena? And maybe, who knows? Maybe he actually goes in the match freaking being a little heelish. I don't know. Something. Why didn't we get something? Why didn't we get a little tease? Maybe we could have gotten a tease, for God's sakes, with John Cena. He's conflicted, and we could have seen maybe something, who knows, the final boss even. Something about the final boss, something to lead to the end of the show. Some little cliffhanger. So, to what's going to happen as freaking SummerSlam. Can we get a little fucking cliffhanger? Like, something to actually have a good cliffhanger segment involving Cena and Cody. Something with Cody even, like, I don't even know. Like, what are we doing here? Like, where are the cliffhangers, for crying out loud? And I think WWE did take a little bit of my idea with John Cena and Cody Rhodes when they had the Real American beer, which was literally Hulk Hogan's beer, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't know. Okay, the show started with Cena. He came out with his, like, heel entrance. You would think that if Cena truly turned into babyface, he should have just came. I mean, unless they're trying to build to it, who knows? Maybe at SummerSlam, will be coming back to his old retro style Cena promo, Cena, like, entrance. Cena came out, but then Cody Rhodes came out. And then Cena says, "Cody, I told you I was exhausted and that a match at SummerSlam would be too difficult for me. You didn't listen. You assaulted me and forged my signature, and you forced me into one of the most dangerous matches in WWE on its grandest stages for the biggest championship. I only got one thing left to say to you. Thank you. Because this was just a boot in the ass that I needed. For 25 years, day in and day out, I have forged a reputation off of hard work, honesty, and respect. And I realized that 5 months ago, I flushed it all the toilet chasing false glory when I brought it into somebody's crazy idea of making shocking TV. And we did, and we shocked the world. We made great TV. But it dust settles, and then everybody goes back to their normal lives, and then the people who were supposed to be on my team, they left alone, trying to pretend to be something I was not. Basically referring to Travis Scott and The Rock, where unfortunately they didn't even freaking, Travis Scott not committing to this freaking, which I don't know why the hell would they involve Travis Scott. And The Rock decided not to be involved because maybe him and Triple H had a fallout. Just regardless, like, there was no plan. There was no long-term plan, really, for John Cena to be a fucking heel. Let's be for real here. There was no long-term plan. They literally just did this John Cena heel turn just because they wanted to make good television, because they were struggling with the ratings. Simple as that. But yeah, it is what it is. The fact that John Cena openly admitted to it on television is just like, wow. They don't really care about keeping kayfabe much anymore, but it is what it is. I mean, we know it, I guess, with their stupid Unreal crap. Or just in general. I just wish they kept a little bit of kayfabeness. You gotta still pretend this is real, for crying out loud, but sadly they did not. John Cena says, "I want to leave it with this. After my last match, I want to take this home with me, not because I want to ruin wrestling. Jeez, you guys know I don't want to ruin wrestling. I love wrestling. I want to take this home with me, so after I'm gone, you guys don't forget me. I was so hung up at how you might see me tomorrow that I forgot to realize how stupid I am acting today. And y'all tried to tell me over and over, and you tried to tell me and I didn't listen. Cody, you tried to tell me I didn't listen, but you did what a good friend should do. You forced me to face it. You forced me into a fight. Not a match, a fight. Something that's going to be brutal. Something that's going to force me to dig down and be who I really am. Something that I if I didn't show up to war, I didn't show up at all. Mark your words, Cody. August 1st, 2025, Newark, New Jersey. The John Cena got back to the WWE. You hear that? Because he's like referring to fans. I didn't know who leaves with this on Sunday, but I don't know who wins. I do know who wins each and every one of you, because I'm finally over my BS, and at long last we got to see Cody Rhodes versus the greatest of all time at my best, with something to prove in the main event street fight with no rules, and that you want it. Well, if you want some, come get some. And on Sunday, the only platinum rapper showing up to whip your ass is me. The champ is here! Loud seeing the chance break out. Cody then opens up some 2 beers, which apparently are real American beer. Cody Rhodes then says, "All I gotta say is welcome back, John Cena." And then they all toast. And Cena had like a retro style, kind of like ending of his promo where he, celebrates with the fans. The thing is, he didn't shake hands with all the fans that were having their hands, but he only shook the hands of the kids that were like by the end of the stage, which it kind of got me a little confused. Like, was he gonna greet the fans or whatever? He didn't really. He only greeted his wife and then eventually the few kids. So it's like makes you think, like, is he really a babyface or really is a heel? But regardless, This just proves that Cena is at best when he's a babyface. He really just at best is being a babyface. There's really no point of him just being a heel. Him being a heel is honestly one of the most it's really just nonsense, okay? John Cena being a babyface, it's just the best thing for him. It's kind of like, I see it as, unfortunately, with The Rock, with not Rock, with the Stone Cold thing. A lot of people did not like Stone Cold's heel turn when it happened. And this reminds me a lot about Stone Cold's heel turn back in '01. People wanted to cheer Stone Cold Steve Austin. They didn't want to hate Stone Cold. And they didn't want Stone Cold to do heel shit. This is kind of the same thing what John Cena should always be. And I really hope that WWE has learned their lesson with this. And hopefully they also learn from what happened back when Austin turned heel back in '01. People didn't want to boo Stone Cold. People wanted to cheer him. People loved Stone Cold. And especially when it's John Cena's last chance, like, retiring, there's really no point to do be heel. As much as there has been good things about John Cena's heel turn, I enjoyed his promos. There was good promos. Him, and even his pipe bomb promo on CM Punk was definitely the highlight of his heel run. That is for sure. It's just a darn shame with lame booking they have failed to utilize John Cena. And if only they have utilized John Cena the best of his ability as a heel, or at least just in general. In all honesty, did he really need to turn heel? John Cena never really needed to turn heel. That's for sure. John Cena was just perfect to be who he is, be a babyface. Could have ended it, could have had a good, long-last Super Cena run to see if he could even make it to 17 championships. You know, beating or facing all the best, like kind of like the best of Cena. Why not? You know, face new opponents, face some old opponents, simple shit like that. You know, give it his all, and that would have been fine. He really didn't need to turn heel. He really does not. And if you ask me who should be his last opponent, if only The Rock is like free, I guess that's the only last opponent. Maybe it has to be a big heel, that's for sure. People are saying Gunter. People are saying freaking, I don't know. There's gotta be something, that's for sure. There's gotta be something. You then see backstage, Jelly Roll is training. Well, apparently it's like footage earlier today, whatever. Jelly Roll's training, but then Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul pays him a visit saying, oh yeah, you're trying to be a wrestler and stuff. And then they attack him and whatever. It's fine. It's fine, little heat. Julia in the first match defeats Zelina Vega to retain her women's US Championship. Kiana James is now Julia's manager, and I don't know what to really say. Like, I mean, like, the problem with Kiana James, like, she has not been showcased since her supposed, like, hiatus. And I don't know, nor do I care. I mean, at least she is welcome. She has nice 2 pairs to help her out, that's for sure. Second match, Los Garza, they have like an open challenge for their AAA tag titles. Before this, we had Solo Sikoa show up, and they were like wondering why the steel cage was up there, and they said because they don't know. It's just live by FTVs, and how it's about tonight. It's going to be about showcasing Talatonga, whatever. Anyways, Los Garzas, they issued an open challenge, and for some reason, they're doing this match. This for the AAA World Tag Titles. And then we have Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown show up. I'm just asking myself, who is this for? You know? This is just smart bait. A lot of people say, oh, you know, this is just one time. Bullshit. Okay, bull fucking shit. Like, do you not see what they're doing with TNA? Okay, was that one time? This is just dumb. This is just them. Clearly, they don't care. This is just appeal to the smarks. You know, they're doing what literally, like, AEW is doing with the ROH shit. Like, it's just dumb. I don't care. Okay, this is just stupid. They want to tag titles, but this is just a waste of time. Okay, it is a waste of fucking time. Sorry. Again, yeah, we had this where, you know. This is all, you know, so, yeah. We had a video package of the TLC tag match happening on Sunday, but they're not, like, they didn't have anything on the show with them, which is, like, really? Like, that's how you gotta build the show. Like, whatever happened to actually, showcasing something. Like, I'm not saying like do some match between all 6 men, but just something. There's something like to build like their little confrontation or whatever. Third match, Damian Priest loses. Damian Priest defeats Aleister Black by disqualification. This match is not happening at SummerSlam is whatever. I don't care. A lot of people are like looking forward to this match to happen, but it's not happening on a SmackDown. I really don't care much. In all honesty, just something like it's just kind of sad. Like Damian Priest, who was the world champion last year, is not even going to be at SummerSlam. Same thing with LA Knight and shit. Like whatever. Like this goes to show like WWE doesn't know how to do anything. Jimmy Uso loses to Talo Tunga, but then the steel cage was coming down with the MFT. But then Solo Sikoa makes was it Jacob Fatu makes the save, and then in the cage it was only like Tangalea, I think, and the Jeff Cobb. They were in the cage, and yeah, they got taken out. We had a confrontation with Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. How can they coexist? They only helped each other because they want them 100%. Blah blah blah. That's what happened. Just really just maintenance shit. They also did have Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. How they're not friends, but they're gonna do what they can to win the tag titles. And the main event, we had Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. They showed up. They said like, oh, shut up, green shirt guy. You're the worst of them all. How dare you guys? We are the 2 best wrestlers of the industry. That's a fact. And we are trying to defend this place from the outsiders. You guys boo. Not that every single time. Like, Jelly Rolls thought he was in the hot dog eating contest. But listen, me and Drew are dedicated on our lives. We're sick of these outsiders. WWE's a step, thinking that WWE's a stepping stone. But guess what? That's basically impossible. Unless you're Logan Paul. I happen to be Jelly Roll. You're just an outsider. You're not a wrestler. Today you're going to learn tomorrow that you are a country star, not a superstar. And you will never belong here. Which is definitely hypocritical, like for his sake. But at least like Logan Paul, he actually plays out like he actually can wrestle. So Drew McIntyre says, Randy, whatever happens to the smiley hole tomorrow is on you. Just because you asked for the match doesn't mean you give it to him. You want to be BFFs. You want a free concert ticket. You're a fan over a guy. I don't know. Doesn't matter. The match is happening. What the hell Jelly Roll got? He's gonna talk about he needs a favor. Yeah, I think he needs Weight Watchers, says Drew Logan Paul. Yes, well, you only talk to God of how selfish you are. I gotta go to speed out. Drew McIntyre prays. Bad things happen. Logan Paul then says, that's right, this is the WWE, not court order community service. This is an arena of arena convicts. And not a lot of them in New Jersey. And then we see Jelly Roll and Randy show with their limo, a little brawl, and then they get separated by security. Not really like... It was just a lame it was just whatever brawl. It wasn't really lame, but it just really wasn't that exciting, and they get separated, and I get it all. It wasn't really that like impactful to really end the show in all honesty like that. It was just whatever. And that's how they end the show with SmackDown. Just Jelly Roll like doing some punches, but really like he looked like he didn't know what to do right after that, like after getting separated and whatever. So it's like Orton did more of the work, that's for sure. For this show, I just didn't like it was on cruise ship. I didn't like they didn't have like a proper sort of go home show feel. I just felt that this show really felt like a cruise ship type of deal where it was just, they were kind of tired of building things. So it's like, I'll get it. SummerSlam is already happening anyway, so what's the point? So that's what I didn't like about this, in all honesty. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, that was SmackDown for you. Nothing much happened with this show, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. Definitely the only thing big was just John Cena, which again, a little intriguement. Just a little, it makes you think what's going on, but it's a little intriguing. Other than that, nothing else was intriguing. We all know that, Logan Paul and McIntyre are gonna lose because, celebrity type of shit, whatever. Anyways, that's SmackDown for you. Till next time, peace. Yeah, bye.